Welcome to Nuka Knights. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great time in the wasteland. If you want to support Nuka Knights, make sure to like this video, subscribe the channel and activate all alerts. This helps the YouTube algorithm to spread the video and grow the channel. In this Fallout 76 video I will show you all the expected changes in Season 22, which will be released on 2nd September 2025. The main focus of this patch was C.A.M.P Revamp and balancing. But there are also several other changes. Let's get into it. I will start with the new camp menu and building rules. As you can see here already, you're absolutely free to place items anywhere in the camp zone, no matter if they snap in or just float somewhere in the air. So before you start building, you should check this setting for workshop building rules. It was set to relaxed by default on the PTS, but I'm not sure if it will be on live after the patch. After you did this, you can build anything. After you load into a world and open the camp menu, you will see this quick guide for the updated camp menu. On the left is the camp menu, which is sorted by new categories. The buttons have been changed too. You need to get used to the switch between build and modify. Tab is now the back or cancel button. When placing items, you can choose between snap, collide or free placement. In modify mode, you can manage wallpapers, create blueprints, lock or replace items. But you can always check the button bar below for all available options. The old blueprints and stored items are available in the top category, history. When you open a category, all available subcategories are listed with previews in a column. And if you now open one of these, you see all available items with previews and details in tiles. On the right, you can see each chosen item's name and materials you need to build them. If you choose options, which is the X button here, you get filters for buildable, unlockable, known items you can apply, and you can minimize or expand the variants. Now let me show you a few examples. First, I'll build a cryo freezer to prevent my frozen food from spoiling during building a new camp. Next, I'll build a foundation, just like before, using the snap placement mode. Now I've built the foundations and walls and I want to merge some stash boxes. And this is now as easy as this. Just use the free placement mode and place the items anywhere inside of the other item as you like it. If I use snap or collide mode, it won't work to place this stash box on top. But if I choose free placement, it's no problem. Well, this example isn't the most beautiful merge of stash boxes, but you get how easy it is now. And not only you can place items inside of each other super easy, it's also possible to make items float as you like. That's all from this topic. I'm already curious what creative ideas you will come up with. And of course, you can also write Nuka Knights on your camp if you feel like a part of this community. The next topic is perk card changes. There are several changes, especially for heavy gunner builds, melee and archers. For example, this Bullet Storm is the former heavy gunner perk. This perk is the base of a new damage bonus system, like Onslaught. You get a bonus of 3, 6 or 9% damage per 30 stacks of ammo for max 10 stacks. This counts per projectile, not per shot fired. So 2-shot weapons or also shotguns gain a faster bonus. Tightly Wound is the former Expert Heavy Gunner perk and makes your weapon spin up 60% faster. This is relevant for spin up weapons like the Gauss minigun, Gatling laser, pepper shaker, etc. Bringing the Big Guns is the former Heavy Gunner Master perk and it doubles your bullet stack limit, which means the limit with this perk is 20 instead of 10 and you get an 180% bonus damage after 600 projectile shot. Without this perk, you get 90% bonus damage with 10 stacks after 300 projectiles. The stacks reset when you reload or when you switch the weapons. Beer Arms now doesn't reduce any weight anymore. It now increases your bash damage by 5% for each stack of Bullet Storm. Not sure if that's useful, but that's what it does. Lock and load is also different now. You keep half of your Bullet Storm stacks when you reload. 1% reload speed per stack. Next are melee perks. Iron Fist now deals more damage based on your damage reduction. So when you're using a Vanguard set on your Feral Ghoul char with an unarmed melee build, this armor set will increase your unarmed damage. To be more detailed, the max bonus is 100% bonus damage at 1000 damage resistance. It scales linear from 0, so when you gain 500 damage resistance, your unarmed damage gets a 50% damage boost. The Slugger perk was changed to a damage bonus against crippled targets. So your melee weapons do 10, 20 or 30% damage to crippled targets. The former Slugger Expert perk is now called Knee Capper. Melee weapons deal 50% limb damage. No power tools means no auto axe. The new Heavy Hitter perk is the old Slugger Master perk. And this one deals now 25% power attack damage, but no auto axe of course. Wound Soldier is the former Gladiator perk and it now deals 10, 20 or 30% more damage against bleeding targets, so you can use this with a set of torn armor, for example. Natural Stance is the former Gladiator Expert perk, and it now reduces incoming stagger by 25% if you have a melee weapon equipped. Bloodluster is the former Gladiator Master, and it also works with bleeding. Your bleed effects now have 35% more damage and 25% less duration. Strong Arm is the former Fire in the Hole perk, and it was moved from Perception to Strength, and it now increases the throwing range by 50%. And Pain Train, you already know this one. The effect hasn't changed basically, but this damage now counts as unarmed damage. Next are the Archer perks. First is Hat Trick, which is the former Archer perk. Arrows and throwing weapons bounce towards 1, 2 or 3 additional targets, dealing 70% damage. This is a very powerful perk for crowd control by Archer builds. Deal Sealer is the former Archer Expert and it now deals plus 10% damage for each impairment your target has. This means you can get up to 40% bonus damage against a target which is poisoned, burning, crippled and bleeding.
Oh, that's brutal.
Next is Master Archer. Arrows and thrown melee weapons pierce targets. They just go through the target. And the last Archer perk is Bow Before Me, and it now has 2 ranks. Your bows and crossbows ignore 40% armor and have a 10% chance to stagger. The next perk is really important for all ranged builds now. It's Tank Killer, which was reduced to 2 ranks and which was changed to your ranged weapons ignore 20 or 40% armor. Yes, all ranged including heavy weapons. Homebody was also changed. It was changed from 2 to 1 rank. While in camp or workshop, gain HP and limb regeneration, improved benefits from being well rested. Next is Red Sponge, which was moved from Charisma to Endurance, and it was also reduced to 1 rank. It now absorbs 20% of reds taken and restores hunger and thirst. EMT has been changed to 1 rank and it has become much more interesting now. Automatically revive down teammates once every 3 minutes and grant them increased healing for 1 minute. This works pretty much like Power Armor Reboot, but without Power Armor, and you also bypass the down state. It has a mechanic which is called Cheat Death in the files, but sadly it doesn't work for the player using it. But when everyone in an endgame team uses it, you can protect each other with it. Injector was also reduced to 1 rank and still grants plus 18 action point regen, but only for 1 minute instead of 10 minutes. Revenant was moved from Endurance to Charisma and the 2nd rank was removed. You can only get 25% bonus damage for 2 minutes from this perk now. Stabilized has some basic changes too. It was reduced to 1 rank and doesn't ignore armor anymore. Instead, big guns gain 30% accuracy, double in power armor. So you can actually use it without power armor to gain accuracy on heavies. Ninja has some very interesting changes. It was changed from 3 ranks to 2 ranks, and it was buffed to plus 50 and plus 100% bonus damage, and it works for bows, throwing and melee weapons now. That's a new plus 100% sneak damage bonus for bows beside Covered Ops and Mr. Sandman. I will definitely make a new archer build with these. Bloody Mess was reduced to 1 rank and the damage bonus was completely removed. It only works on bleeding enemies now. That's definitely much less interesting for most builds now. Grim Reaper Sprint was reduced to 1 rank and was changed to be much more useful now. Instead of a chance to restore action points, it now restores action points on any kill based on your luck. This means when you have 1 luck, you get 6 AP per kill. With 15 luck, it's 14 AP. 30 luck gets 20 AP. 60 luck gets 30 AP. And 100 luck gets 36 AP per kill. And the last one is the Psychopath, which was reduced from 3 to 1 rank. Hits outside VATS refill your critical meter at 10% contribution. Next topic is balancing. There's a lot going on. This time around there were numerous changes again. Weapon damage, range, cone of fire, recoil and magazine sizes were adjusted. The functionality of VATS was revised. I'll go through some details. First, the legendary mod Executioners was changed to additive instead of multiplicative. So to work better with the new VATS system, there were several changes on the range of weapons. For example, these ones, light machine gun from 132 to 185, minigun from 130 to 175, 50 cal machine gun from 103 to 144, submachine gun from 109 to 152, Gatling gun from 137 to 191. Also the reload animations for some weapons have been adjusted. The assault rifle was a bit slower in reload now. The radium rifle has a faster reload now. The handmade was also adjusted to have a faster reload. The combat rifle also has a faster reload now. Also, with the new heavy gunner perks, there were several changes to the increase of the damage of the heavy guns. So the 50 cal, the light machine gun, minigun, Gatling gun, Gauss minigun, flamer, plasma caster, cryolator was changed. Also the V63 laser carbine, although that's not a heavy one. The ultrasight laser gun was reduced in the damage from 87 to 80. Also the adjustments were made to general large magazines. The ammo capacity was now changed from plus 50 to plus 100%. The weapon draw time is slower now to plus 35%. And the reload time is also slower. The sighted transition time is slower. The weight is higher. And the durability was lowered to minus 10%. So all hardened receivers have been adjusted. More bonus damage plus 35% bonus damage. The recoil was raised. The AP cost was raised to 15%. The weight was raised. The durability was lowered. And the value was raised. Prime receivers now have the same bonus damage as the hardened receiver, but also the plus 65% bonus damage to Scorched still remains. The AP cost is plus 15% on the prime receivers, the weight plus 30% and the value plus 50%. Then, for example, we have some change on the Nuka grenades from 751 to 257, but the damage goes through the walls again. Dev note, We will be revisiting this once we've had time to look into issues with enemies getting stuck in the terrain. Also, the Hailstorm missile launcher has a little bit increased damage. So for all these VATS changes, there are weapon mod range updates. All weapons have increased base range, see below. The end result of this change is that there's slightly less contrast between stop, short, medium, long and sniper barrels. In particular, this helps short and especially stop barrels more easily compete with long barrels. Not all range barrels mods follow the stop, short, medium, long sniper naming convention, but most mods which adjust weapons range will be similarly adjusted. So the medium barrel range is now plus 25%, the long barrel range plus 50%. Sniper barrel is plus 75%. And there's a long list of increased base range of the following weapons. I'm not read all of them. The 50 cal, for example, from 144 to 182. The 10mm submachine gun from 95 to 120. The 10mm from 99 to 119. Alien blaster. This is a lot, from 99 to 143. The alien disintegrator, really interesting. Also the projectile speed was increased of the alien disintegrator, was raised from 148 to 214. The assault rifle was raised from 148 to 178. The combat rifle was raised from 165 to 198. The compound bow from 172 to 288. The bows are really interesting now, also especially with the perks. The crossbow also is interesting, 245 now. Crusader pistol, also interesting, 139. The Enclave plasma was increased to 160, also very interesting. Also the heavy guns like the Gatling laser has a 198 range now. The Gatling plasma 169, the Gauss minigun 252. The Gauss pistol, that's really good. The Gauss pistol had a much too small range, now has been changed to 174. Very good. Also the Gauss rifle, which the range of the Gauss rifle was okay, but now it's even better, 257. Gauss shotgun has also a small change. The handmade, the harpoon, the lever action is also interesting, 219. I like the lever action rifle. The light machine gun also has a range increase. The paddleball, yeah, I'll talk later about some paddleball changes too. The railway rifle was raised to 159 and the fixer 198. The V63 laser carbine to 196. Overall, I can tell you the main difference are the numbers in VATS, which are much lower. But with the right perks you can still hit very well. I can't complain much about the actual hits and kills in VATS, works fine to me. Those former 95% hit chance always felt like a lie to me when half of the magazine missed the target at the same time. And as you can see in this clips, even if the hit chance is 25 or lower, I can still hit very well. Next topic are the Caravans. No, I haven't heard of Windy or the Purveyor in the Milepost Zero, but there is a small fix for the Caravans that can't be completed because the Brahmin getting stuck. Well, the fix is not on the Brahmin, but the event has a maximum of 7 minutes now. So even if the Brahmin is stuck but still alive after 7 minutes, everyone in the Caravan event gets the rewards. And there is another change, everyone now gets the same amount of supplies, no matter who started the Caravan. I tested this on the PTS and, well, my Brahmin was stuck, but at least I got the rewards. Next is Mischief Night. Yes, it's finally here and we have an actual date in the current community calendar. 7th October to 21st October is Mischief Night time. The event itself was introduced to the game in 2019, but it came with a lot of problems like crashing during the event in Whitespring, which was the event location. Since Bethesda couldn't solve these problems, the event was cut, but now it's back again in Skyline Valley. There are some similarities, but the rewards are all new and also are the enemies and the location. The rewards are the same like last year on the PTS. This year the costume requirement was removed, so you don't have to wear a costume during the event. And last year's robot enemies were now replaced by Lost in costumes. I personally like the ghost-dressed robots, but somehow the Lost are more challenging. Your goals in this event are to blow things up, to light the bonfires, raid the trick-or-treat bowls, graffiti the walls, and to fork the lawns while being attacked by the Lost. And these are the rewards. You get 400 XP, depending on your XP bonus you get more of course, 50 caps and 3 of 15 different foods, which can be also sugar bombs with rats, or some fancy lad snack cakes, or some sugar bombs clean, which are not with rats, or something like that. Stimpack, red eggs, red away. The usual suspects. Then you get also some improved bait. You get the plan for the Mischief Night Stein, which is not tradable and will drop until learned. And then there's the new player title, the Goblin, which is also not tradable. And there are also legendary modules, and those are the interesting rewards. This is the plan for the Bat plushie, which is an actual camp item, and there's also a backpack, the plan for the Bat plushie backpack. The plan for the bony arm scones, the plan for the cauldron hot top, the plan for the crooked metal fans, the plan for the cultist lamp, the plan for the Deathclaw gargoyle statue, the plan for the hay bale throne. There's another backpack, the plan for the Jack-in-the-Box backpack. And there's the Jack-o'-lantern backpack flare, the large Deathclaw gargoyle statue, a new plushie, the Scorpion plushie, the Scorpion plushie backpack, and there's a skeletal weapon rack, and an outfit, the Spooky Scarecrow headpiece and the Spooky Scarecrow outfit. Next topic is locking items. From now on you can lock any item you don't want to lose. Locked items cannot be dropped, scrapped or sold. You can lock items in the Pip-Boy, in your stash, at the workbenches, at the vending machines, while trading or even while looting. Power armor parts retain their locked status when you install or remove them from a chassis. You can lock weapons, armor, food or any other items, however you still lose locked junk when you die. The floating damage numbers are also a new feature. You've seen them in the clips already, and there is a setting to turn them on or off. They were turned on by default on the PTS, not sure if this will be the case after the patch goes live. So you can find this setting in accessibility. When this setting is turned on, the damage numbers will bubble up from the hit target like a fountain. The next topic might be quite interesting for most of you. On the PTS there was a new drop list added. It contains all Enclave plasma mods, can drop from all Enclave events, which means dropped connection, aerial blast, and also bots on parade. And this list has a drop chance of 10%. I tested this on the PTS too and already got several random loose mods. So now it's worth doing all the Enclave events. So let me show you how this looks in the files. This is the list, the mods, weapons, ranged, Enclave, plasma gun, all. It contains 40 items and there's all the Enclave plasma mods in it. Also the reflex sight, which you all want probably. Also the barrels and everything you want. And there's this reference list, which is the events, the Aerial Blast, Dropped Connection, and Bots on Parade. And there is the drop chance of 10% for this Enclave Plasma mods list. There is also something to see from future updates, which is a Drifter activation card. Next is Paddleball Mods. Since the release of Fallout 76, there have been several Paddleball mods that were not normally available. The weaponized Nuka Cola Cherry Ball, weaponized Nuka Cola Ball, and the weaponized Nuka Cola Quantum Ball. These mods have now been removed from the workbench on the PTS. The electric ball was already cut content before, but only these Paddleball mods are available now on the workbench: the bladed ball, the fireball, the spiked ball, and the rubber ball, which is standard. This is what the mods list looked like in patch 61, which is the current live version. It has the weaponized Nuka Cola balls in it, also the electrified ball. And now it looks like this. There's also only the sharp, the fire, spiked, and rubber ball. But the mods are not gone. They are still present on the paddleballs. The paddleballs are also still tradable, and the removed mods can now be found under post prefix. This may prevent the mods from being crafted or dropped again. Not sure what's the exact reason for this, but well, the paddleballs are still available on the PTS and still work too. But there's something going on with them and not sure what it means. So there's something else going on with the rare Fasnacht masks. And this is going on with the invaders, exactly with the General Zeta, which is the boss of the event, Invaders from Beyond. And well, he has a drop list, a new one, which is called Fasnacht Headwear Rewards Rare. So this contains the glowing masks, and yeah, he can drop them with a chance of 5%, like the event, but only, not the event. Invaders from Beyond can drop this list, just the Zetan invader, the General Zeta, but only if this condition is set to 1, and this is currently set to 0. This is a global value. Invaders, General Zeta, glowing mask, which is set to 0. But no idea if they can turn it on server side. So maybe they let the masks drop during the event, or maybe not. It's possible to drop the glowing masks during the Invaders from Beyond event. And here you can see the proof. This list is the glowing masks list. The latest addition was the Fasnacht glowing sun mask and the glowing corn cob, etc. You know this. But to prevent more rumors about this, there's no other reference to this list. It's just General Zeta with this option to enable it, and it's not linked to any other event or any other enemy. Next is a quite small topic. There are new gold plans again. This time you can get the Dirty Pond from Samuel at the Settlers with neighborly reputation, the Ghoul Ellie Dotty, and this season's Cannery Workbench are available with Ellie reputation. Mortimer at the Raiders just has one new plan, which is the Icebreaker. This season's Harpoon Gun is available with Ellie reputation. Next is the new unlimited Aidbox. Starting with patch 62, Fallout First subscribers will get a new infinite Aidbox. There you can store aid in unlimited quantities. And this is what it looks like. You can store anything inside of the box, like you can do already with the scrap box or the ammo box. There are two variants when this patch goes live. The first one is this one. This is the standard Aidbox for Fallout First, which you have when you log in right away and you can build in your camp. And this one is the Doctor's Bag Aidbox, which is a season reward. and which is basically a skin, and you can also place this in your camp. But this is also the look that they use to put these C.A.M.P or Aidboxes around the map. And there are several locations that you can find this new Doctor's Bag Aidbox. One is the White Spring Mall, the other one is Nuka World on Tour, like you see on this screenshot in the background. This is Nuka World on Tour. And there is also one Doctor's Bag Aidbox at the trading post in Skyline Valley, and also in the raid, the Gleaming Depth workshop outside of the raid, and also all 5 stages have the Aidbox inside so that you can use it to store aid you get inside of the raid. And if you're wondering what exactly you can store inside of this Aidbox, here's the data mined list, which contains all the aid you can store, which does not contain mutation serums, for example. Season 22 is obviously also starting with the next patch, and it's all dedicated to the Fallout universe. There are various brands and themes you can find, from Nuka-Cola to Chrysalis, Saturnite, or even Sunset Sarsaparilla, which will even come with a vending machine and give you actual drinks. There's also a salt, pepper, spice and sugar collector, 2 new pets, a soup cooker, a Nuka-Cola jetpack, and a lot more. I explained all these rewards in the data mining video already. You can check it out if you like. And last but not least, there are new Atomic Shop items. I showed them early of the PTS already, and some of them are already released. And here are those that should be released after patch 62. I'll start with the new pets. There are 2 new robot pets called Robopaw Steel Dog and Robopaw Steel Cat. The dog is basically the same like the Junkyard Collectron, and the cat looks pretty much like the animatronic cat, but this time they are more useful by fetching legendary items and roaming in your camp. Next is the Enclave Mechanic Cap and the Enclave Mechanic Outfit. Both descriptions says maintain the machine, nothing more. This is a great looking outfit, I think, and it's great for Enclave fans. This one is a new Enclave Power Armor paint. It's called the Specialist Power Armor paint, and the description says sometimes all you need is a specialist. This is a unique skin that completely alters the appearance of your power armor. It can be equipped on all power armor models. And there is also a jetpack, the Specialist Jetpack, and the description says, a specialist's special. And I think this might be in a bundle, because there's also a hidden player title called Specialist Player Title Suffix. The next one is a plushie display case, Snuggle Spike plushie display case. And you can see it's basically a stick where you, impale your plushies, if you like that. The description says, strike fear in the fluff of your enemies. The next one here is the Coal Wood Floor and Foundations. The description says, from the town of Coal and Dreams, now under your feet. Next are 2 cutouts, 2 ghoul cutouts, the Ghoul Girl cutout and the Ghoul Boy cutout. The description says, set up one of these raddest cutouts for your camp. And this is actually nearly the same cardboard cutout that I saw in the Bethesda office in London when they had invited me in November last year. Very nice. Next are industrial pipes. The description says, these are the building cylinders of America. The next one is off-road vehicle. And the description says, if only this thing worked. Yeah, if that only worked, it would be great if we could drive around in a vehicle like that on the roads of Appalachia. Next is the Liberated Collectron Station with this cute little liberator. The description says, it's getting hard to tell who was liberated in this scenario. And to be honest, this Collectron Station is actually weird because it collects torn Mothman wing, glowing resin, starlight berries and Mothman eggs. So this actually sounds more like a cultist collectron, but yeah, it's a liberator. No idea what's going on there. And the other one here is the company repair bot. Every booming business needs their own. Does not repair destroyed camp objects. So it basically does the same as the Enclave repair bot, but it looks different. This is the PTS pennant for patch 62. The PTS pennants are always unlocked when a major patch goes live. So when you join the PTS ones on Steam, you should be getting it in the next season. The other one is the Wood Stilt Foundation. The description says, build your camp above the water or the earth with this wood stilt foundation. And now we finally come to the plushies. I bet you all love the axolotl plushies. The first one is the purple axolotl plushie. And the description says, I heard you like purple axolotl plushies. And the second one here is the black axolotl plushie, which has the same description. I heard you like black axolotl plushies. And the next one is the third axolotl plushie, which is the red axolotl plushie, which has obviously the same description. And the other one here is the stalker plushie. And the description says, it seems to always be watching. The stalker plushie looks somehow cuter than it should be. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of this Nuka Knights movie again. Check out the written article on nukaknights.com. Thank you for watching and see you in the Nuka Knights community. Check out the Nuka Knights app. It's available now on Google Play Store for Android smartphones and tablets. The app contains all features you already know from the website. If you have a login already, you're ready to go. You can now access weekly new codes, current daily ops info, season progress, data mining news, latest events, build guides and other Fallout 76 news directly from this app. Get it now on Google Play. And don't worry iOS users, an iOS app is also under construction.